Welcome to Six Pack Cinema. On today's episode, we are talking about the movie Green Book, which is about a working class Italian-American bouncer who becomes the driver for an African-American classical pianist on a tour of venues through the 1960s American South. I liked it. We're going to find out what other people thought. Thanks for tuning in.
You should move. Okay.
All right, what's up? Thank you for clicking play and joining us to hear our thoughts on this movie. Either you just watched Green Book and you're skimming through the podcast app saying, I want to hear more about this one, and you found us, welcome, or you're a regular listener, welcome. I heard you did that spiel for Creed.
I tried.
Tried?
I tried.
It was a pretty solid Jimmy impression.
I just impersonated you. I didn't do my own thing, and it was a weak impression. But
well, I
got the point across.
I'm sticking with that opening.
I think you should.
But I didn't listen to your guys' Creed episode. I just listened to enough so I could sync it and edit it because I want to watch Creed. And I don't want to know a thing about it.
That makes sense.
So it was very hard to edit it without listening. But this episode isn't about Creed. It's about Creed.
Listen to it though.
How are you guys doing today? Good?
Doing well. Doing wonderful. It's just about Christmas break, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah. First-time listeners, my name's Jimmy. That was John you just heard. And this is Dave.
I'm also doing well and been slow at work, just ready for the Christmas break, really.
Does the Jewish kid.
I'm like Jewish. I'm not really Jewish.
Hanukkah already happened. You already got your holiday.
Yeah, but I still get Christmas.
Came and went, and no one knew about it.
I love how we did our little holiday picture, and you trying to be the Jewish one. Like, hey, get a picture with you holding the menorah. You put a fucking Santa hat on and a Christmas sweater to do it. I couldn't believe that. It was dumbfounding, but whatever.
I had to call out both my holidays.
All right, so here on Six Pack Cinema, we do our gut reaction. Then we'll just do general conversations about the movie. Then we're going to go into ratings. We got popcorns for entertainment. We got critical score. We got drink pairing. We got a lot of stuff. Gut reaction. John, you can go first.
Loved it. This is one of those movies that is the reason why I do this podcast, because I may not have ever seen this one prior to this. This is not one of those mainstream ones that you go out your you just see in the theaters. This is you have to go out of your way to go see it. It's wonderful. I can't say anything bad about it.
Dave?
I liked the movie, but I thought the characters and story were pretty cliche. But I thought the whole movie was carried on the acting. Like, I could watch the two of them sit there and talk as their characters for hours. I just didn't think the actual story was that good.
All right.
Can we say he's wrong and just disregard him?
I mean, it is a cliche story, but so is A Star Is Born. There's a lot of cliche stories out there. It's how they attack that story. And I think that this movie, I'm with John. I think it was great. I went in with high hopes, but Viggo Mortensen blew me away. He was one of the more lovable characters in a movie in a while. And I think in my brain, he and A Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper are the two best male performances that I've seen so far this year.
Yes.
Oh, I agree with that.
100%.
Okay, cool. I think that's clear cut. I really enjoyed this movie. I went with my mom and my grandma, and my mom was born in the 1960s and lived in the Bronx, and my grandma was born in 1930 and lived in the Bronx. So for my mom, this is like a homecoming. Those scenes, like the pasta and all the slang and stuff like that, which kind of that does make me enjoy it more, knowing that my mom's getting nostalgic over this, which is kind of a weird thing. Same with A Bronx Tale. It's the same thing. She's like, this is how it was when I grew up, and then in my brain, I'm like, oh, this is a snapshot into my relatives. This is cool. So that's a weird bias I have. But I thought it was really, really good. I kept waiting for the big bad thing to happen. You know what I mean? Because you go for the controversy or the what's it called?
Conflict?
Yeah, the conflict. I kept waiting for the big conflict, and there's never one huge conflict. It was just little ones along the way, which I liked.
Just continued to build up, and it felt like just by the end they were both over the trip.
Yeah, what was the movie where I said I was enjoying it so much, and I knew conflict was coming that I just didn't want to. I wanted to walk out and have it be happy forever. We did it on this podcast. That was
Yeah,
my
we
take.
did. We did.
Oh,
You wanted to leave before
was it A
You
Star
wa-
Is Born?
No,
No,
Like,
it
when it
wasn't
was
A
going
Star Is
well?
Born.
God, I'm gonna put a pin in that. I'll get back to you on it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and search it out. But that's how I felt with this. Like I was dreading when they were gonna like be really mean to each other and just nasty, and it never really came, and I loved that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think the overall story is very cliche,
Old man.
but
again.
I thought they were great. And I can't sing enough praises for both Viggo Morrison or, I'm going to butcher his name, Mahershala Ali.
There you go.
And something that kind of took me out of it a little bit, because I thought this was pretty much a true story until I read afterwards that it's pretty not accurate at all.
I don't
According
believe
to-
that.
Mahershala
I don't believe
Ali,
that. I don't believe that.
According to the guy who's depicted as not liking his family's family.
Yeah.
but it was enough that Mahershala Ali called and personally apologized to each of them.
I don't
Well,
think
because
he's in a
they-
role where he has to apologize for it. He's a serial apologizer.
What
Yeah.
other roles has he apologized
I'm just
for?
saying all that his family
Probably.
came out and said was we were actually close to him, and it's like,
Well,
Of
and they
course you say that.
said it didn't end on a good note. Like they didn't have the crazy year-long friendship, and that he was actually fired during this road trip.
Yeah, but you can fire someone and still be friendly with them. You just don't want to work with them. That's fine. And also, they don't know the relationship that Tony Lip had. This is from Tony Lip's This is Tony Lip's point of view.
And also, sorry, one more thing, because I'm going to say the
Yep.
whole story. Apparently, Tony Lip and his son were trying to make this movie for the last 25 years, and Mahershala Ali's character was like, "No, that I do not do that. I do not want it made." And then as soon as he died, they started production on the movie,
yeah, here's
which
the
is
thing.
kind of fucked.
I don't care about any of that because it's not like they were public figures like Queen, where like we didn't know these people. So if someone else just said, "Oh, I read about this driver and this singer, and I made a movie based off them," we wouldn't care at all. So you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
they could have changed these characters and just said, "Oh no, we kind of loosely based off," but they kept the real names. But it's not like they're famous enough for me to care. So that's like I don't care at all about it.
Yeah, and
All right,
every
all right. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way.
and every time they do one of these biopics, there's always some feeling where they comes out of the woodwork and says, "I wasn't consulted on it, and this, that, and that was wrong," because they want to look legitimate and they want money for it. They want to get paid off. And everyone's willing to hear like, "Oh, the studio lied. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, Mahershala Ali apologized.
Well,
oh, this is interesting." No, it
My
doesn't.
opinion on it is less that like, oh, this, and that are wrong, and more they were saying the friendship was never like, because the friendship is the crux of it, and if that didn't exist in real life, then the whole thing's a sham.
Yeah, but someone could say, "Oh, imagine if the friendship was like this. That'd be a great movie." And let's write that movie. And it's not like we know these names. We know these names because of the movie. We're not watching the movie because of these names. That makes sense.
Yeah, I also think the three of us are too young to really know these names. I don't know if your parents did, but my dad immediately knew who it was when I told him I was seeing this movie. Yeah, I mean, he was the first like openly gay black musician ever.
Yeah. Anyway, update. It was Tully. Tully.
Oh,
When
yes.
Tully got happy, I wanted to walk out before the big and bad ending came, and it never really came.
I thought it was Old Man and the Gun.
No, it was Tully. I just checked through, and I was like, that was it.
Okay.
All right, so back to this movie. Do we have favorite scenes?
Yes.
Okay, what's your favorite scene?
Right away. The scene where it was a whole turning point where in their relationship was they're in the hotel and Tony Lip's about to go downstairs to meet his friend for a drink after Dr. Tony Lip or Dr. Don Shirley, doctor for whatever reason, overheard him speak Italian, getting job offers, and he thought he was going to bail on him midway through his little tour, and he really didn't want him to go because he understood that he needed this guy. However annoying he may be and how like unrefined he was, he needed him and everything he was doing. And when Tony Lip looked at him and says, "Hey, I don't want a raise. I'm not going anywhere. I made an agreement. I'm going to follow through. That's what I do." It's like, oh, that's just one of the most stand-up guys in the world.
Yeah.
And you like both of them because both of them came down to real level. It's like, I'm here because I agree to it. And Don's like, yeah, I'm here right now. I asked you because I appreciate you thoroughly and I need you. It was amazing. It's just a great moment.
Yeah, no, that was a great scene. I have two that I really liked, and one of them is, in my mind, the turning point for their friendship, which was when they're eating fried chicken in the car together.
Yeah.
That was the start, I felt like, of them actually becoming friends and less like antagonistic to each other.
That was breaking down Don's wall.
Yes. And then the other one is actually them screaming at each other, but when they're arguing over, and he's like, you think you know more about being black than I do?
Oh.
And they break down like how different they are from each other and how he feels like he's separate from the white community, obviously, but also his black community.
Yep.
I thought that just the acting in that scene is a powerhouse from the both of them.
But
there's some really good lines there. He was like, you know, I grew up with nothing. I grew up in the streets. I work, you know, all that shit. Like, like I'm pretty down. But also when he said would when the cop called him that, and he's like, would I get called any different in your neighborhood? Like, this isn't a South thing. Might be a little more brutal here, but this is an America thing. And Tony kind of realized that. And then at the end, he says, "Hey, don't call him that." And his wife saw it like, ooh.
Yeah, his wife was on board from the start. That was nice.
I did love the montage of her reading his letters to her friends. And they're all like, he's so romantic. He's so open.
Some of the Italian stuff was hilarious. Like,
yes.
When are you going to write me a letter? When you learn to cook.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yep.
I have my favorite scene was shit. I just thought about it and now I can't remember. So
good one.
I literally just had it in my head. I pivoted to my one complaint, which I'll just go to now. It's the top of my head.
Okay.
When at the beginning he threw out the cups that the black workers drank out of into the garbage, that didn't fit his character at all. They were just trying to hammer home a point because he wasn't like a racist guy. As soon as he found out he was gay, he was like, I've seen stuff in the nightclubs. I don't care. And he didn't have a problem with him the whole movie. So I thought that didn't fit the rest of the movie. Like the Tony that we saw 90% of the time wouldn't have thrown out cups that black workers.
He might not have liked them, but I don't think he would have thrown them out. I think just a quick rewrite of that scene would have been him like not happy with it, and then his buddies being like, "You really gonna keep those glasses?" And then he throws them out, like kind of being goaded into it by the community,
or like he scrubs them right away, or like really hard. But just putting him in the trash, it didn't fit the rest of his character.
I think his character wasn't so much hateful; it was just uncomfortable. I understand what you're saying. That's an excellent point with Dave. That rewrite, having the guys goad him into throwing him out, that would have been perfect. But I don't think the whole point of him is he was uncomfortable with this, but he needed the money badly, and that's what pushed him into this position. And the whole gay thing, he is turning a blind eye to all that stuff. He's like, that happens, but it's not here. His big issue, if I'm thinking about him in this situation, he doesn't want that in his house, and he doesn't want his kids drinking out of it. It's separation of the outside and the inside, and that's like his little domain.
That's a good point.
That is,
and then it caps off at the end. He welcomes him into his home.
Well, here's my thing. As from a screenwriting standpoint, writing in that scene where he throws out the cups, you're now telling the audience like, "Oh, this dude is really racist," and he wasn't really racist. He probably was uncomfortable, like you said, not used to it, didn't really know how to engage. But there was no hate in him, and that made the audience think there was like hate in him or disgust. That made the audience think there was disgust.
Sure.
And then we never saw disgust the rest of the movie. So that was the one thing. Like, I like this movie so much. That was the one thing I was like, that didn't match.
Okay. It was a bit aggressive. I mean, I get what they were doing, but it was done maybe a couple notches too hard.
Oh, yeah. I remember my favorite scene now.
Great. Let's go into that.
When he was outside playing craps with all the other drivers, and that
line.
Dr. Shirley says something along the lines like, "Oh, they're all out here playing." It's like none of them are allowed to be inside.
No, so none of them had the option of being inside or out.
Yeah, and I actually I liked that Shirley made him and like wanted to change his diction, and by the end they were actually working on it a little bit, because that was a good point. Like, dude, don't think you're stooping to these guys' level and being friendly because that's who they are. If they had the option to be inside, they'd take it. They don't. You know what I mean? So take advantage of the options that you have that we don't. I like that line. I thought it was pretty pointed and got the point across.
Yes.
This is like most of this was Tony Lip teaching Don Shirley, changing Don Shirley's opinion of
Bringing
the
him
world.
down to reality.
But there was a little give and take where Shirley taught Tony Lip, and that was a big moment.
Which is the great part of which is why the movie was so good.
Yeah,
because they were two extremes and they came and they met in between.
Yeah,
agreed. But that just reminded me of a criticism I have. That first scene where he's playing the piano, which whoever they got to actually do it, phenomenal.
Well,
you guys notice the CGI on the head there? Because it was very clearly like his head CGI'd onto someone else's body, and the neck kept getting thin and large.
Oh no, I didn't pick up on that.
And it took me out of the scene so fast, and it made me upset because before we started doing this podcast, I would have never noticed those things, and it really pulled me out of enjoying the movie.
You got to break yourself of that, man. That's how you ruin yourself.
Yeah, I'm glad that I didn't notice that.
I don't give a shit about the graphics. I'm already interested in the story.
It just looked really weird with like his head kind of floating on a body that was like changing.
See, I used to play piano, so when I see a pianist, I like only watch the fingers because that's the show. Oh my god, when he was the last scene when he was in that beat up bar, holy shit! What those hands were doing was amazing.
I also loved when he took the whiskey off and put it on the floor.
Yeah, what a great.
He stayed true to himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was cool.
But
that end scene was cool. It was good. It was and then the robbing at the end and him just fine. Like every time I thought I was gonna be like, shit, something bad's gonna happen. And that they kind of never went that deep dark into like negative. Like I thought he was gonna get robbed or anything. Besides when he got his ass kicked for being gay. And then
he got his ass kicked for being black.
No, it was gay.
No, because the other guy got beat up too, right?
No, in the bar.
Oh no, yeah, we're talking about in the YMCA.
Oh, he didn't get beat up. He just got arrested.
Dude, he was.
It looked like they were beat up.
All right, he might got a little bit beat up, but like that's arrest. The beat up one was in the bar.
Yeah, you're right. Because he didn't want to stay at that shitmobile hotel and didn't want to play. What'd you guys think of the bandmates, the German bandmates?
I liked them. By the end of it, I liked them because they were very standoffish the entire time. And then when they're sitting down at that last dinner and they're like, oh, yeah, let's have a shot. We're done with this tour now.
That's my complaint. I'm glad you brought that up. Did they introduce the reason why there was two cars, why they didn't travel together?
I think it just assumed.
It seemed like they liked each other and they because when he was in trouble in the bar and getting beat up, the guy ran to Vigo to get him to come help.
I think just between three people's luggage and their two instruments, they couldn't travel with the piano, obviously. There just wasn't going to be enough room in one car.
Interesting. I
don't think they explained it. That was just my assumption.
Because my assumption when I first saw the two cars with the two white guys going and the black guy, I thought that was racist at first. But midway through, it was very clear that they were not racist against this guy.
No. They respected the hell out of him.
Oh, yeah, because he was amazing at what he did. And I thought that was where I thought they could have helped you out a little bit more. And because I thought, not midway through, even before that, like later on, they finally let go. And like the last dinner, he talks. Like I could have used a little bit of that beforehand.
Yeah.
Some complaints. That's all.
Well, I thought they did a good job of showing how ingrained the racism was.
Down
like
in deep
people
South Alabama.
in the deep South, like people that were even nice to him, still were just like, "Oh no, you can't use that bathroom."
They're like, "We'll wait for the second half for you to go to your hotel."
That's just how it is.
Those are the rules. Like, what are you talking about?
We love you, man. I want you to meet my wife and like shake your hand and walk you around. But like, no, you can't do that.
Well, I'm gonna wash my hand after I shake your hand, but that's just the rules.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
That was
I love that line where he's with the maitre d' or the host. The saying is like, last summer the Boston Celtics basketball club came down here on a barnstorming tour. Do you know where that big whatever they call him was at? He says nowhere. He's like, neither do I, but it wasn't here. I was like, fuck you, man. You're proud of this.
That guy was a dick. I was very happy that the Lip when he's like, oh, you wouldn't have this job if you couldn't be bought, and he just shoves him against the wall.
Oh, yeah. Tony's ability to just flip a switch and become, like, a negotiable, not dumb, but just like a go-lucky guy to just, like, I'm going to kill you, monster, was amazing.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he's an ex-mobster there, so.
No, I know. I don't think he was ever in the mob, to be honest. I think he was always skirting it.
They made a point early on he was in sanitation, which New York City,
yes,
that's the
right,
mob.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Is Viggo Mortensen fat or did he get fat for this role?
I think he got fat.
I don't know. I think he's always kind of like a little hefty.
I mean, he's Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. He wasn't hefty in that or in The Road a couple years ago.
I thought, okay.
It was gross. He was gross how he ate and shit. It was honestly displeasing to watch.
I loved watching him eat. It was so funny.
I mean, it fit the character, but
yeah. Who puts? I mean, I would always take my pizza that I got out of the microwave, like the little tiny Celeste pizzas, and make a taco out of it. Never in my life would I thought to do that to like a large pizza.
That's disgusting.
Everyone in my theater was like, "Oh," when he did that, and I was like, "That looks good.
Yeah,
I want to try it."
Eating the meatball sub with just like no regard for what's going on. Like you're getting covered in sauce when you're eating the way he eats. Just no regard. He's got like one napkin.
It was gross. It was gross. I don't know what Linda Cartelli or whatever her name is saw in her. Who I love her.
She needs to be in a bigger role.
She's a smoke compared to him.
Well, she does a lot of
small things. She was Jordan Belfort's first wife in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, but she does she does a lot of like TV. Like she was in How
I Met Your Mother.
She was in Mad Men. She was in Bloodline. She got her start in Freaks and Geeks when she was young.
Yeah.
She does a lot. She was Scooby-Doo.
She is she's Hawkeye's wife.
She's in Boy Meets World. I'm
thinking of someone else with the How I Met Your Mother thing.
I think you're thinking of someone else entirely because I don't think she was in.
She's not in Wolf of Wall Street either.
No, yeah.
She's in the Avengers: Age of Ultron as Hawkeye's wife.
She broke up Corey and Topanga in Boy Meets World.
Oh, that bitch.
That slut.
Alex. in the cabin. Okay. I think we're ready to go to one more thought. One more thought.
Caught yourself there.
I would have rathered him just get out of the car and go to dinner. Like, I didn't need the suspense that he's like, nah, I'm not going to eat Christmas dinner with your family. And then he goes and sits in his throne and realizes how lonely he is. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's
Oh,
bad.
yeah. I didn't like that either.
No, I
just knew he was going to be there. So
you did, but the moment he sat down and it was silence, he was like, well, shit. I'm 2 months with this guy. He became my friend, and now he's not here, and he invited me to go someplace. He's my friend. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Whether that happened in real life or not, I liked it.
would have liked him to either go straight up or it end on a kind of down note where he actually is alone and he's sitting there alone. I think you have both that way, and it doesn't serve either ending well.
Yeah. I think it was good, but I just wanted him to go there. All right.
I have one last note of why Tony Lip was awesome. The piano scene. The first time he ever has to like actually defend this guy who he does not too sure of, and the two bandmates sitting there. I love that. The two bandmates were like, all right, this guy's in it, and he's like on our side. Because it was trash in the piano. It wasn't a Steinway, which I thought him spelling Steinway, STAI, was like amazing. It's hilarious. But that slap was one of the best slaps I've ever seen in movies. It's shocking.
Yeah, it was good. Not a punch, a slap.
It was like a bitch slap to the best bitch slap I've ever seen.
How do you go find a Steinway piano so quick?
You don't. That's why it was so funny.
Yeah, it kind of seemed crazy. Top 3 Viggo Mortensen movies? Dave, go.
The Road.
I feel like this is
Lord of the Rings 2 and this.
Nice. John?
I'm going to go Captain Fantastic. This one. And I'm looking at his IMDb. I'm going to call it Unabomb, coming out soon.
Nice.
Big fan of the serial killer.
Is he playing the Unabomber?
No, he's playing the guy who caught him.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Nice. Mindhunter was an awesome show.
What about yours?
It was amazing.
Mine's weird. It's Hidalgo.
I forgot he's in that.
Appaloosa, the Western with Ed Norton and Viggo Mortensen. Not Ed Norton. I can't think of the other
I thought
guy.
it was Ed Norton.
No, it's the guy from Radio.
Oh, Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah, not him, dude. Yeah, the other guy. And this movie, Appaloosa, Hidalgo, and this movie.
Are you guys like looking at his IMDb? Because I don't remember any of
Well, now
his
I am.
movies.
Ed Harris. Ed Harris.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready for ratings?
I am.
I do believe I am.
Who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'll set the market. My
popcorn.
my popcorn entertainment value. Now, I wrote down 5 because while I was sitting there, I was never not entertained. But that just didn't feel right when I wrote it down, so I lowered it to a 4.5.
Why? Go
Okay.
go with your gut. God damn it.
That's 5. Then.
His gut told him it wasn't a 5.
No, his initial gut, but his brain got in the way.
Fine. I'm a 5. I really like this movie.
Good.
I just thought a 5 would get me backlash.
No, I got a 5.
No. Yeah, I also put a 5.
Oh, thank fucking God. Oh.
Yeah, it's a 5 across the. This is a great one to sit through.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I just don't know. It wasn't like a comedy. It's
It's
going into comedy in the Golden Globes or something.
It's those stupid.
It's
fucking
the stupid
studios.
Golden Globes. I hate
No,
them.
it's the studios that play fucking games. You can't look at that. Which is stupid because this is going to get kind of not tainted per se, but they're going to look at it like, oh, well, that's a comedy / musical, not so serious. It's amazing. This is right up there with A Star Is Born. Way better than Bohemian Rhapsody. First Man, both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, First Man. Is First Man getting any love?
I don't think not much.
Not a ton. I've seen some stuff for Ryan Gosling and some for Claire Foy, but that's it.
They should probably get something for cinematography or the graphics
Yeah, something no one cares about.
because they get you tense in those little tight spaces. They deserve something.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Critical, Jimmy. What's your take there?
92.
Not bad.
I liked it. I think the acting was great. The cinematography was really good. The set design was really good. It's like there's a lot of sets because it's a road trip movie.
Yeah.
Through the 60s. So there's a lot of sets for them to do, and I thought that was really well done. I thought the acting was really well done. I thought the pacing was really, really good. It just kept going. It never felt like, okay, we're stuck on this for a little bit. And the character development was the same thing. It was pretty start to finish. It was never like, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? And it didn't have that big, terrible moment that I thought was going to kind of like ruin it. Because sometimes they overdo that. Like if they fought and they said like really mean things to each other, and then they had to go like they separated for a little bit, and then it was like the next road trip. That's what I was fearing.
Yes.
They were like,
I thought they were gonna get into like a screaming match with each other, and Viggo Mortensen was gonna like drop the N bomb, and I was like, well, you can't come back from that.
yes, that's what I was dreading that. So I'm glad they didn't do it. So yeah, I'm pretty high on this movie. So
Also, did you notice that he never said the N word? Even when his friends were saying, he never said it.
Yeah.
He said eggplant, which is not great by any means, but it's not the N word.
I mean, that's still pretty bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it was a point. Not the greatest word, but he didn't say the actual big N word. So,
What do you got?
I got a 90 for everything you just said. Plus, vocal racking was on point.
I gave it an 81. I like the movie. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie.
Boo.
I think the acting is the only thing that's great in this, but only from the two of them. Everyone else I thought did good, but not great.
88%.
88. This movie deserves a 9 at the beginning.
God damn it, David.
Sorry.
That hurts. No, that hurts, right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Because 90s are like Oscar contenders.
Dave was swayed by the true story aspect.
Fuck this true story. It's
I
not
made
about
good
the true
arguments
story.
about why the true story doesn't matter.
Oh no, you raised my grade.
No,
It
it
did start
doesn't.
with the 7 originally.
Oh, you're an asshole if you start with the 7. This you cannot look at what happened in real life compared to a movie because it's still a movie. It's a story.
No.
It's
Because
a
like
story.
3 episodes ago for Bohemian Rhapsody, we all lowered our grades.
No, but
of
I
that.
think I made a fair point. If you go to the movie to see a movie based on a story you already know,
Yes.
then you want accuracy. But if
I agree. That's why I raised my grade.
Yeah. Well, I kind of just made that point on the spot, but I think that is like
That is an excellent point.
I was
And
trying
also-
to figure out myself why I feel different. I was like, there it is.
And also the Bohemian Rhapsody is a well documented timeline that doesn't line up with this one. This is hearsay that doesn't line up with this guy.
Yeah, we still don't know what's actually true or not true. Yeah.
Hearsay. So I'm going
Hearsay. It's 2018.
Hearsay. It's just say. It's just say. And Dave, you're relevant, so we're going to knock your score off. So between 90 and 92, it's 91 average. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
91 average. Great.
91. 5 popcorns.
Nope,
What would you drink with this? I think I'm just going soda out of like a fast food cup with a little bit of rum sprinkled in.
Oh, you got to go KFC.
Ooh, that's what
That's
you're
a
drinking
food.
with it?
It's food. You're gonna liquefy your chicken and drink it?
No. So you got like a KFC cup. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I said a rum and Coke in a soda cup, so same wavelength there.
Same. Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Rotten Tomatoes. What do you guys think this got critically?
I think road trip movies are generally looked down upon by the hoity-toity type. So I'm going to say it doesn't start with a 9. Don't you think that? I think road trip movies are never like.
I don't know, but you got. This is not.
I'm going to guess they did an 86 critical.
I'm going to go 90. 90.
It got an 83.
These guys are ass.
What do you think the audience score is, though?
Like a 98.
No. This is not an audience movie.
Yeah, it is.
No.
95.
My one argument against you, Sheehan, there is, like you said, this isn't a movie everyone sees. You have to seek this out to see it.
Excellent point, Dave. Thank you for telling me that before I made my guess. I'm going to go 88.
It's an 84.
Okay.
So me, the audience, and the Rotten Tomatoes critics all think you guys are way too high on it.
Well, I think you read the score beforehand, so screw you.
Well, I always write down my score. I do write down the Rotten Tomatoes ones before we record, but I make sure to write mine first.
The audience is at 84.
Yeah. Or at least it was like 2 days ago when I wrote
Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes is bullshit.
No, I don't even
unless it fits my argument, and then I support it.
I don't think that's too low. Rotten Tomatoes.
Bumblebee is at 98.
I'm fact checking you, Dave.
Go for it.
You went to Smotin Tomatoes by accident. Okay, here we go. It's pulling up. Green Book, 82% on the criticals.
So it's dropped since I pulled my scores.
95 on the audience.
Right. Suck it.
So that's gone up.
Suck it.
I pulled these a couple days ago.
Like you said,
pulling them day of.
Like John said, this may not be for everyone to go actually see it, but anyone who sits and watches it is going to like this movie a lot.
Yeah,
that was my argument.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying so. That's why I couldn't
like
believe that it was an 80.
Like I learned my lesson. I will start pulling these day of and not ahead of time.
All right, that's the end of the show. If you liked this movie or didn't like this movie, let us know on Instagram, Six Pack Cinema, or Twitter, Six Pack Cinema. Pretty simple to find. We'll post our rating. Go comment your rating, thoughts, concerns, compliments, complaints, and make sure you subscribe. And if you want, leave a 5-star review. That'd be nice. And that was the end of this podcast. We'll see you on Thursday for our general Hollywood headline gossip fun.
That comes out on Friday.
We recorded on Thursday.
Yes. But they're not going to be here. Bye.
See ya.
Enjoy the weekend of the movies. I'm going to go get more water before we record.